Hello everybody and welcome to round 2 of the 2021 GP4 F2 Offline Championship. We are here at the popular Hockenheim Ring in Baden-Württemberg for the F2 German Grand Prix. I am JW97 and yes, as you may have noticed, I am not Robert Ionescu, and the reason for that is because unfortunately Rob couldn't be here today to do the qualifying commentary for F2, but he should be back tomorrow to do the race, so don't worry about that at all. It's just for today he won't be here. But I'm joined today, alongside me is a guy who I haven't commentated alongside before, but he has been in a few commentaries. It's Leighton Aviard. How are you doing? Is he here? I think he might have gone a bit deaf. I think he might have I guess something's happened to Leighton then on his side then. Well, I am joined by Leighton Aviar, but it seems either his mic's not working or he's gone off to do something. But anyway, we're here for qualifying after what was an amazing first race of the season over at Azerbaijan. And it saw Jose Frederic Souto take the victory from Agatina Bavona in second place. And Leighton actually has technical issues, so he's going to have to restart his Discord. So please bear with, guys. He'll be back in a moment. But anyway, whilst we wait for him, I was saying, Jose Frederic Souto won at the previous race at Azerbaijan. Obviously, a a much needed win for him after what had been a tricky 2020 season for him in GP2. But it seems that he's got off in the best way possible. But can he keep that up? That is going to be a question. I think we are with Leighton this time. Just to double check, is your voice working this time? Not at the moment, it doesn't seem like. It seems like he's still having problems at the moment. So, anyway, anyway, we might as well get underway with qualifying then if we can't get Leighton to get his voice working. And as you can see, it's going to be a dry qualifying session. And, excuse me, got a bit of a croaky voice after where I went yesterday. So, anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the qualifying session. Hopefully, Leighton can join us on the in just a little bit. But anyway, we're going to get on then with qualifying, and hopefully Leighton will join us halfway through in the qualifying session. As we're now on the loading screen as we speak, and as I've realised as well, it seems that Flo's stream seems to be behind again by about 20 seconds. So yeah, maybe something you need to look at for tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway, we're in the loading screen right now, and as we get on with qualifying as we speak, as just got to wait until it gets to the end of the loading screen. Again, sorry if I keep on trying to correct my voice. Obviously, yesterday I was at Silverstone, of course, watching the British Grand Prix. That was an exciting final 10 laps, wasn't it, guys? It was great viewing to watch where I was sitting, which was at Vale Corner. So, and thankfully, chose obviously all right after that huge crash he had yesterday. And yeah, biggest crash I've seen at a live event, it's fair to say. And yeah, very scary crash, especially given that his roll bar failed, a bit like Pedro Diniz's in 1999. But anyway, we are now in the pit lane, as you can see, and so we're now in the pit lane as we speak, and we are waiting to get underway, and for this 30-minute qualifying session, of course. Obviously, let's wait and see who's going to be the first to come out onto the racetrack then, as I think we're trying to figure out who's going to be the co-commentator. I think it might be Ra on this occasion, because I think Leighton is struggling to get stuff going. I'm a little bit confused at the moment about what's going on. So anyway, Rico is going to be the first one out on track. Gabriel Rico in the Campos racing car. And oh, I can't hear you, Leighton. So anyway, it's Gabriel Rico is out on track, as he will now approach turn number 2 now then. And obviously, Gabriel Rico, last time out in Azerbaijan, if I just get the championship standings up very, very quickly. Gabriel Rico, of course, finished in 12th position. It was 11th and 12th for the two Campos racing cars at Azerbaijan. It wasn't the best race for them, but they'll be looking to try and see if they can rectify that here at Hockenheim, as Rico makes his way into the hairpin now then, as he'll be preparing to start his lap very, very soon. He'll now come down towards the flat-out right-hander.
And you aren't expected to see me here. Sorry, Joe.
I was going to introduce you, Ra. Shut up. Anyway, it seems that that Leighton's issues are continuing, so we've got Ra alongside us. Hello.
Yep. I don't think anybody would expect me here. But yeah, well, I'm here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems that Leighton's issues with his microphone are persistent, and it seems that he can't seem to fix it at the moment. So unfortunately, he can't do the commentary. So I am alongside Ra instead. So anyway, Ra, last time out in Azerbaijan, I think you were watching it as well. It was a pretty interesting race indeed, and a fight back that Jose Federic Suto needed after what had been a tricky 2020 season.
Yep, indeed, and hopefully he could be in the fight, but of course it's early days right now, so I mean anything can happen. We'll see what he can do. Hopefully he can be as consistent than last season.
Yeah, we're hoping so indeed, because we were in a similar situation last season with Jose Federic Suto, and it seemed that his car had other ideas for the remainder of the season. And we're hoping that is not the case this season with these brand new F2 cars. It looks like that Rico there had a little bit of a moment going into the hairpin, and yes, he did, because we're in a replay right now, and it looked like a little bit of a maybe. I wouldn't say a lock-up, because there was no smoke coming out of it. It looked like he just went in a little bit too hot there,
Great start for the lap for him, unfortunately. Hopefully he can turn it around on the second run, but we'll see how much time has he lost from that.
We'll see, of course. He's now coming up towards the end of Sector 2, a 56.509 in the second sector, as he now makes his way towards the infamous stadium section of the Hockenheim circuit, as he'll now come around the banked left-hander before making his way towards the final 4 turns on the racetrack to complete his first lap of qualifying, as he now comes around the final corner, which is the Sut curve, now coming down the pit straight, and the time is a 1 minute 7:16 as Chobot goes quickest by 4/10 of a second before being beaten by Delebush Daniel, his own teammate there. Now Nguyen goes into second place. Henson crosses the line to go second, only 900ths off of Delebush Daniel there. Tobias Kress, the home favourite, across the line, one of the 3 home favourites, goes quickest by 3/10 of a second. Samuel Oskin in the high-tech Grand Prix car is now going to cross the line himself, and he goes into 4th. Ruslan Protsiuk in the Red Bull coloured MP Motorsport goes into 7th. Johannes Martins, 4th for him. Here comes Gabriel Quintino, who had a very good performance last time out in Baku, slots into 5th position. The defending champion, Aaron Curtis, across the line, only 9th for him at the moment. P10 for Bent Valdinger, one of his former teammates. Dennis Graf slots into 8th. Jose Federic Suto, the winner from Azerbaijan, slots into 10th that time by his teammate and home favourite, Alexander Arnold, slots into 10th himself, getting in front of his teammate. Luca Farina slots to 15th. Jafari Blackwood, P6 for him. Here comes Agatina Pavonen, the man who took pole last time out at Baku. He's crossing the line to go into 9th position. Fonchanek Keoshane, 19th for him. Blake Moore, who unfortunately got a mechanical failure at the last race, goes 16th. Hento Silanome goes 19th there, and Henry Watzel goes into 19th that time by. So at the moment, the home favourite, Tobias Kress, at the top of the timing sheet, and we believe there may have been a mistake here from Fonchanek Keoshane. Let's have a look to see if it was, or if it was just a pure error. Let's see. And as he makes his way towards the hairpin, I think it might have just been a poor lap, it seems, because I don't see any signs of a mistake. So yeah, I think it was just a poor lap from Fonchanek Keoshane there. So you'll have to try and regroup and try again on the second lap. But Kress at the top of the moment, and it's fair to say a bit of a surprising one at the moment, Ra.
He hasn't been in this Philly series for a pretty long time. He's been in Formula E for most of his career, ever since he left GP2 at the time. And yeah, I mean, he's finding his form and could be better. But we'll see what happens. He could take pole, or someone else could take it.
Indeed so, as Kress pulls his way back into the pit lane along with everybody else. And usually one driver gets left behind on the second run, so we'll have to wait and see which one that will be. But anyway, a reminder to people as well, with the 2021 Indy 500 sign-ups closed tonight at 10 p.m. BST. They were meant to close yesterday, but it seemed that Yuri forgot and I was too shattered to close them. So yeah, that's that. So we've left it open until tonight at 10 p.m. BST, and then that's it. So if you haven't signed up to the 2021 Indy 500 yet, you need to be quick. So that's that really. And then just be a case of trying to get all the liveries sorted. As Javari Blackwood now then is in the pit lane himself in the Dams car, currently P6 at the moment, and so far having a pretty good session here in qualifying. But of course, it is early days as we speak at the moment. And in the last race, Jafari actually had a pretty good race, finishing in 4th position, and so far looking like he's carrying that over, Ra.
It's a good start for him, especially when he did one in BTCC in the final season ever for BTCC, and yeah, he's actually doing well in the Formula cars. So far, good start for him.
Yep, indeed, and of course he was a championship contender in BTCC last season, and then didn't have the best events of the season. Hence why I think he finished in 5th place in the BTCC Championship. But so far, having a good showing so far in his first appearance in Formula Cars, as Rose Hansen comes out onto the track. And Rose Hansen, what a combat that they had at Baku. Started in 21st position, but ended up finishing in 9th in the end, and double points finish for Trident. Just an amazing comeback for Rose Hansen, you'd have to say, Ra.
Yep, and they actually did pretty well, and I think they could probably get better results, and hopefully they could get probably a win. I think Rose could probably get a win later on.
Maybe so. I mean, Rose did well last season when they were in Formula E, so we'll have to wait and see what Rose can do in Formula 2, of course. So currently P3 at the moment, just under a 10th behind Durabush Daniel at the moment. Fair to say, Durabush didn't get off to the best of starts at Baku, but it seems that on a race circuit like this, he's so far performing quite well at the moment. Is the current Lamborghini test driver up in P2, but as mentioned, still early days. There could still be room for improvement, and we'll just have to wait and see how that one goes, really. Of course, we do have the spare card ban, let's not forget as well, for anybody who needs a reminder. So if anybody breaks down or crashes out in this session, then they will their session will come to an end, of course, regardless. So they'll be hoping that's not the case throughout the course of this season. This session, I should say. As Rose Hansen goes through into turn 2, luckily there was looks like Rose is not going to get held up on this occasion, and in fact Rose is actually up on Cress in the first sector by 0.03 of a second. So we'll keep an eye on what Rose Hansen can do in the final 2 sectors of the track, as Hansen makes their way down towards the hairpin now. Then, just clipping the curb on the inside there before making their way down towards the Mercedes grandstand, of course. And of course, Mercedes do have, I think they obviously sponsored the Real Life 2019 race, and then they didn't really seem to do anything after that to try and save the German Grand Prix. Nice one. Anyway, as Rose Hansen comes up towards the end of sector 2, and whilst Rose is still up on their time in the second sector by 0.03 of a second, Rose is now actually down on Cress. So it suggests to me that Cress had a bit of a weak first sector on that occasion. Hansen comes towards the final 2 corners on the racetrack. Coming towards the final corner, and onto the pit straight goes Rose Hansen. Let's see what Rose can do then. Across the line they all go, and goes up to second with that time. Gets in front of Durabush Daniel, as Adam Chobot, speaking of VAR cars, goes into 8th position. Samet Oskin in the high-tech Grand Prix car now then. Makes his way around the final turn and onto the pit straight. Across the line goes the Swedish driver. It's P3 for him, so we're seeing some improvements. Durabush Daniel, though, not on an improvement, stays in 4th. Sinno's starting lap, but already getting held up, so that lap has gone into the bin for Hento Sinno. Gabriel Quintino doesn't improve. Here comes Jantis Martins in the high-tech Grand Prix car. Around the final turn comes the Brazilian, and across the line he will go. And no improvement for him there. Gabriel Rico improves, but only into 17th. Ruslan Proxiuk, across the line he will go. Finish 3rd in Baku last time out. Goes up to 13th and shares the same time as Alexander Arnold. As Suto goes up into 12th, the early championship leader. Nguyen doesn't improve. Alexander Arnold, no improvement for him. Dennis Graff crosses the line, no improvement for him either. As here comes Tobias Crest, the man currently at the top of the timing sheets. Across the line he will go, no improvement, says on 1 minute 19.279. Here comes Aaron Curtis, who's up on his personal best in the middle sector. Curtis currently down in 15th position and still yet to get a win in any OC category, as Curtis comes down the pit straight. Across the line will go the reigning champion, goes up into 8th, so gets himself into the top 10 as Moore goes up into 6th place, a big improvement for him. Bence Valdinger across the line, no improvement, stays in 17th position. Jafari Blackwood making his way around the final corner as a Jamaican driver crosses the line. No improvement for him. Luca Farina improves, but only into 15th position. As Kyoshani, look at that for a big improvement, goes up into 2nd place. That's a big improvement there for the 2019 Indy 500 winner. Hento Synonym crosses the line. No improvement. Henry Watzel slots into 8th position there. And they are these runs done with. And out of nowhere, Kyoshani up into 2nd, Raw.
Great luck by Kyoshani, and hopefully they can. Hopefully he will improve to get pole position, but we'll see. Still a long way to go.
A long way to go indeed. I think your mic keeps cutting out first time you try and speak for some reason. I don't know why that is. But anyway, it's Kyoshani now then comes towards the Mercedes grandstand and currently in 2nd place at the moment. Big improvement from 22nd, but now pushes Synonym down towards the back. And of course, Synonym got held up in traffic on that run. So that's obviously something to bear in mind as well. That lap obviously got chucked in the bin for the Japanese driver. But a lot of big improvements happening in that section. Curtis was up in the top 10, but as a result of everybody else improving behind him, he's now dropped back down to 11th position. And the Charoux car surprisingly struggling at the moment, down in 16th and 18th, including the championship leader. Including the championship leader at the moment, which is Jose Frederick Suto. Of course, we mentioned that Arnold and Proxy have set the same time, and Proxy so far appears to be struggling in this session at this point in time, currently down in 19th position. As we wait for the 3rd runs to happen, I didn't quite see who was the one that actually got left behind on that occasion. I'll quickly double check that whilst I'm looking. In fact, it was Bavona that actually got left behind on that occasion, so I would expect Bavona to probably be one of the first to come out for the 3rd runs, or in his case, 2nd run. And Kyoshani now then comes into the pit lane as he's now getting wheeled back into the garage in the Dams car. And of course, Kyoshani, last time out at Baku, where did he end up? He ended up in 14th position. Wasn't exactly the best race for him there, but so that's that. And as you can see, Gabriel Quintino now then just comes around turns 2 and 3 now then, and he's going to be the first to do his 3rd flying lap on the racetrack. Bavona is now out on track as expected, so he was towards the front of that queue. And currently down in 14th at the moment is Agatina Bavona, and he'll be looking to see if he could try and improve on that if he can, as Quintino makes his way into the hairpin. And now coming down towards the right-hander, which will take him past the Mercedes grandstand now then. And then he'll be approaching where the drag strip is very soon. And of course, this is one of the few tracks, of course, to have the name Parabolica in their corner name. You've obviously got Monza, which is now known as the Michele Alboreto curve. Of course, you have Estoril, their final corner is named the Parabolica. And obviously here, of course, Hockenheim, that's also called the Parabolica as well. Although it does look like that it's spelt differently to how Monza and Estoril spell it. I think theirs is spelt with a C, not a K, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, as Quintino comes down the pit straight, and he starts his lap now then, and coming towards the first corner now then, and using the curb on the outside. Quintino last time out, of course, a great performance indeed, and kind of continuing the performances that we saw from him last season.
Indeed, I mean, he's taken his chances from his 2nd chance in GP2 last season pretty well, and he's carrying on from this season in F2. Hopefully he can keep it going, and hopefully he can actually win a race.
Indeed so, as Quintino makes his way down towards the hairpin now then, and just missing the curve on the inside, and he's down in his personal best in the 1st sector at the moment, as you can see on the DAF panel on the top of your screen. Just over 15 minutes to go then in this F2 qualifying session. Just a reminder for anybody joining us and wondering why Rob is not commentating on this session, it's because unfortunately he's had other commitments that he had to attend, unfortunately, which means he couldn't do the commentary for qualifying, but he will be back for the race tomorrow, I can assure you for that. 3 tenths down on his personal best in the middle sector, so exactly 3 tenths I should say, but Quintino, it's expected he's not going to be able to find an improvement on this occasion. It's Henry Watzel that's the one that's been left behind on this occasion on this run. Quintino now then around the final 2 corners on the racetrack and onto the pit straight will go the Brazilian driver, and Quintino across the line, he will go in the Virtuosi, no improvement, and he stays in 9th. Rose Henson held up, no improvement for Rose Henson, as Bavona only up into 13th on that occasion on his second flying lap. Doibush Daniel stays in P5. Here comes Hyman Nguyen in the second Prema car. Still, so far, struggling to get on his feet in the Prema at the moment, and he does not improve on that occasion. As Chobot, meanwhile, goes up into 6th position. Here comes the current pole sitter, Tobias Kress. Crosses the line, no improvement for him, as Keoshane is starting his lap very soon. Oscar, no improvement for him. Protsu goes up into 7th. That's more like it for the AlphaTauri test driver. There's a Toro Rosso there. Jafari Blackwood now then coming around the final corner, and across the line will go the Jamaican driver. He's up on his personal best, but loses time in the last sector and stays in 12th position. Jose Frederic Suto, no improvement for the championship leader. He stays in 17th. Gabriel Rico improves but stays in 20th position. Bence Valdingo across the line, no improvement for him. As here comes Dennis Graff, who's up on his personal best in the middle sector, and also one of the free home favourites here for F2. And I would imagine he's probably going to be doing some testing outing tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, because it is his home race. For Ferrari, as Graf crosses the line and goes up into 16th position. Hento Sinanome in the Renault liveried Carlin improves but stays in last position. Curtis, no improvement for him, stays in 13th. Alexander Arnold crosses the line, only up into 14th. That time by, as Blake Moore comes around the final 2 turns. Currently in 9th position at the moment is the Carlin driver as he comes down the pit straight, and Moore crosses the line. No improvement, stays where he is for the moment. Luca Farina also not up on his personal best in the ART Grand Prix car. Seems to be struggling, it seems, with qualifying in these last few races that we've seen of him. No improvement for Farina as a result. Keoshane stays in 2nd place, not able to overhaul Kress at this point in time. And these runs done with, I believe, as Valdingo is coming into the pits this lap, and I believe all these runs are done with. So at the moment, still Kress at the top of the timing sheet. So far, the German fans getting what they want at the moment, Ra.
I really wanted to take a look at Hyman Nguyen's lap. I think he set the exact same time as his personal best, but he couldn't find an extra 1 millisecond to improve. Or it would be me seeing things.
Who knows? As everybody's now coming back into the pit lane, and Blackwood now then in the garage as he'll be preparing for his next lap quite soon, and trying to have a look to see if you were right on that one with the Nguyen. Trying to look back on the stream actually. Here we go. You said he might have matched his personal best. Let's have a look as he crossed the line on that occasion. No, he just was slower by 900ths of a second. So not quite what you just said there, Ra. So anyways, Quintino is coming out onto the racetrack then for, I presume this is his fourth run, and yes it is. It says lap 9 of 15 on here. It seems that this flow is actually up the laps with the F2 mod. So that's that really. Dog commentator briefly there. You gotta love dog commentator, haven't you? It's been a bit of a meme since I've been doing commentary. But anyway, Quintino out on track, the only one so far out on track, as you can see with the timing tower on the left-hand side of your screen there. Currently in P11, just sitting outside of the top 10 at the moment. As he now makes his way towards the Mercedes Grandstands. Jafari Blackwood now comes out on the racetrack himself. Also on track is Ruslan Propsiuk, the AlphaTauri test driver. As coming around these section of corners, Akatina Bavona now out on track now then. And now coming towards the stadium section comes the Brazilian driver as he looks to try and get himself back in at the top 10. Now coming around the banked left-hander now then. And so now coming around the final 2 corners comes Gabriel Quintino in the Univirtuosi. And now coming down the pit straight then will go the Brazilian driver as he now starts his 4th flying lap of the session. As he rounds the first corner now then. And luckily, well I say that, I don't know if he's going to get held up by Joseph Frederic Suto in front. But we'll see. He luckily just about avoided getting held up by, I believe that was Dennis Graff, who's behind him at the moment. I think it says the RTL sponsorship on the rear wing, so I presume it's Graff. As Quintino only 35 thousandths down on his personal best in the first sector there. As Quintino now then makes his way towards the hairpin. He goes around the hairpin now, then flicking it in through the right-hander. Just missing the curb on the exit there. Coming towards the Mercedes grandstand area. And currently 11th place is Gabriel Quintino at the moment. Of course, finished 5th last time out at Baku. Looking to see if he can add to that here at Hockenheim. As they now come up towards the end of the second sector now then. Quintino is still down on his personal best, this time by a tenth of a second. Now coming towards the stadium section now then, as he'll be about to complete his next flying lap, and I presume his penultimate flying lap, unless he doesn't come out anymore. It looks like Quintino's going to have a bit of an error, and that's a lock-up, and he's gone way wide, and that is a big mistake there for Gabriel Quintino. A huge spin for the Brazilian, and that's that lap gone down the drain. And he's found to clear in, but that one's down the toilet, Ra.
He was only a tap down. Maybe he could have found that tap here, but nope. There's a big error.
Yeah, indeed, and you can see from the slow-mo there, big lock. Obviously, the mistake started from that left-right chicane there, and it kind of carried on going into the second-last corner. A huge lock-up there, forcing the spin there on Gabriel Quintino, and wow, that's his lap down the drain, as Quintino now then comes down the pit straight, and he will start his lap, finish his lap, and you can see how much time he's lost, 12.3 seconds off his personal best there. And for some reason, we're not looking at the next car. So, anyway, as Aaron Curtis starts his lap now then, as Jafari Blackwood's the next one to do a lap, as so far he's down on his personal best. In the middle sector, the Jamaican driver comes down the pit straight, and across the line he will go, as he does not improve. He stays where he is for the moment. As Farina starts his lap, Protsi doesn't improve, got held up there. Pavona goes up into 8th. That's more like it for the man who finished 2nd last time out in Baku, and he's just missing out on the win, as Dorebush Daniel doesn't improve. He stays where he is at the moment, which is P5. Hoang Min Nguyen crosses the line in the Prema, and no improvement for him, stays where he is at the moment, which is P16. Watzel stays in P11 for the moment, as Blake Moore's about to start out. Rose Henson, no improvement for the Trident driver, as Samet Oskan comes around the final corner, and the Swede will now cross the line. No improvement for Samet Oskan there then. Johannes Martins rounds the final turn. Samet's teammate, of course, and of course, no improvement for him as well. Joseph Edritsuko, again, no improvement for him at the moment. He seems to be struggling in this qualifying session, as Graf doesn't improve on that occasion. Adam Chobart crosses the line, no improvement for him at the moment, as Gabriel Rico does not improve either. Here comes Bance Valdinger, who's up on his personal best in the Uni Virtuosi, and he goes only into 13th place, getting in front of Jafari Blackwood. Hento Synonym, can he get out of last place? He's on improving, and he does, but only up into 15th, pushes Rico down into last. Curtis stays where he is in 16th. He seems to be struggling in this session. Alexander Arnold up on his personal best, currently in 17th. Across the line, he will go, and he goes up into 7th. That's a big improvement there for one of the home favourites. Luca Farina up on his personal best. I don't know if he got impeded, though, judging from that. No, he didn't. He goes up into 9th. He now gets himself into the top 10 now then. As Suto is now on the back row as a result of all of that, the early championship leader. Here comes Blake Moore now then, just negotiating around the left-hander, as he now makes his way through the final 4 turns on the racetrack into the second to last corner, and now into the final corner will come Blake Moore in the Carlin, as he now makes his way onto the pit straight, and across the line he will go, and no improvement for him. He stays in 12th position, as just looking around, and yep, no more cars. No more cars doing runs on this occasion, so that's these runs done with. But Cress, since the start of it, Ra, still at the top of the timing sheets by a tenth of a second. Do you think he can hold on to it for the remainder of the session?
Final rounds coming in. I think he can, but we'll see. But I think I'm really disappointed on Dennis Graf. He's only down in 20th.
Yeah, indeed. And Suto down in 21st, the early championship leader at the moment. It seems that he must be struggling around this sort of racetrack at the moment here at Hockenheim. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to be particularly happy about how these runs are going for him at the moment in this session, as his teammate Alexander Arnold is up in 7th place at the moment, obviously having the home advantage to help him out there. In terms of where the Germans are, Kress is obviously at the top, as you know. Arnold is in 7th, and Graf only down in 20th at the moment in his own race. And Graf, we expect him to possibly do some practice running tomorrow, I believe, if it's anything to go by. I might be wrong on that. I don't know if he has requested anything or not. But we will see. But anyway, as Alexander Arnold gets wheeled back into the garage, and we wait for potentially the final runs to happen. We're waiting to see. Oh, we don't need to, in fact, because Daniel Daniel is deciding not to wait, and he's going to be doing his final run quite soon, because as you can see, he's on lap 12 of 15 on his death panel, so this will be his final flying lap of qualifying here. Currently in 5th so far. Safe to say, Rod, he's having a much better time of it than he did at Baku.
Yep, indeed, and so far looking good. And hopefully he can keep this up, and hopefully he can have a solid race tomorrow.
We will see, of course, as Daniel makes his way into the hairpin now then. As he'll now make his way towards the Mercedes grandstand part of the racetrack now then. That's probably where all the Mercedes fans are going to be cheering for Franco Lopez and Armar Carr tomorrow, because so far Mercedes, especially, well, not so much with Carr, but when it comes to Lopez, not been the best of starts to his title defence at the moment as it has been for Lopez, and he's still yet to get himself into Q3 this season. He's been really struggling with this Mercedes as Franco Lopez, whereas his teammate Armar Carr has had a much better time of it, although it does seem like Mercedes seem to have dropped a little bit of pace compared to last season, hence why the likes of Red Bull and Renault seem to be competing with them at the moment, especially with Red Bull, given it looks like they've got the quickest car on the grid at the moment, and Renault could arguably have the second quickest car, I don't know. But anyway, as Daniel now then just comes out of the first corner, as he's just on the 4 minutes left now then in this qualifying session, and I think we're going to ride on board with him for the duration of that. Through into turn 2 and then to turn 3, let's see if he's up on his personal best in the first sector now then, and no, he's 1/10 down in the first sector that time by. So at the moment, the Hungarian driver not looking at an improving at this stage. The Lamborghini test driver now then making his way down towards the hairpin as he's just come out of Parabolica now then, and through into the hairpin he will now go before making his way down towards where the Mercedes grandstand is. Flat out through the right-hander then will go the Hungarian, flicking it in through the right, and then into the left-hander he will go then. In DTM, we normally see a lot of switchback passes usually happen at that particular corner in DTM. Whether that's going to be an omen in F2 as well, we'll have to wait and see. But maybe the F2 cars act a little bit differently to what the DTM cars do. As 5/10 down in the second sector, he's lost quite a lot in that middle sector, and there was no mistake from what I saw from Daniel in the second sector. So he seems like he's not looking at a very good lap at the moment, is the Hungarian driver. As Daniel now then comes around the final 2 turns on the racetrack, and across the line he will go on his final flying lap. Across the line will go the Hungarian, no improvement, and he stays in 5th, but I think he'll still be satisfied, get that in there, satisfied with that in the end. But as Blackwood has a big lock-up going into the second to last corner there, and that lap has gone into the bin there for the Jamaican driver, and as a result, no improvement, stays in 16th position. Here comes Crest, so far at the top of the timing sheets, and he doesn't improve, stays where he is. Gabriel Quintino, no improvement for him, as here comes Henry Watzel, who's up on his personal best. The ART driver across the line goes into 12th position. The Guin, again, not up on his personal best, again, seems to be struggling with qualifying. It was a thing that seemed to irk him last season. It seems like it might have transferred into this season. No improvement from the Guin on that occasion. Suto, he's going to be starting at the back of the pack. He hasn't been able to improve, and he stays in 21st position as a result. Suto has just really struggled on this occasion, and well, 3/10 down on his personal best in the middle sector there. I don't think there was any mistake for. I think he just hasn't got into the groove of things here in Hockenheim. He'll be hoping for better tomorrow in the race. Henson, no improvement, stays in 3rd place. Graf goes up into 15th, but not exactly ideal. The lowest of the 3 German drivers. Rico stays in last, so P22 for him. Protsiuk stays where he is. Same goes for Arnold. He stays in 7th. Chobart, no improvement. He stays in 6th. It looks like it's going to be a Van Amersfoort 3rd row at the moment, with Daniel in front of Chobart. Here comes Aaron Curtis, who's not up on his personal best. It looks like he's going to have a lot of work to do from 19th. The reigning champion crosses the line and stays in 19th position. Johannes Martins crosses the line, no improvement for him. Samatoskan, despite getting solution from his teammate, he doesn't improve, and he stays where he is, which is P4 at the moment. So I think he'll be satisfied with that, will Samatoskan. Here comes Bent Valdinger down the pitch straight across the line. He will go, no improvement, and he stays in 16th. Hasn't been able to get the qualifying form either, his Bents, although he did do well last time out in Baku. Sinanome doesn't improve, and he stays in 18th, and he's 2 seconds off. So I think that one is a mistake. Let's just see, or could he have potentially been held up? He's 3/10 down in the first sector, so I don't think there's any issues there. So going around the hairpin, any issues in the middle sector? Yeah, he lost all the time in the middle sector. It looked like, judging from where Flo was rewinding, it looks like the Parabolica may have been the issue there because he was rocking his head about a little bit. Yeah, I think it may have been the parabolica where Senna made his issues, unless he went a little bit too hot into the hairpin. I'm not sure. But anyway, we got Farina now, who I think is one of the last few cars to complete a lap, and this will be the final few laps because look how many seconds we've got left on the timer on the top of your screen. Farina now then comes around the final corner onto the pit straight, and Farina, currently in P9 at the moment, stays in P9. He'll be satisfied with that after what had been a run of difficult qualifying sessions for him indeed. And that's qualifying done with. And Tobias Kress in his home race is going to start on pole position. And it's fair to say, Evan didn't really rate him that much when it came to his season preview, but Kress trying to prove him wrong, it seems, Ra.
Said this to Carl Burns, and look what happened. So maybe it really works for Evan Byrne.
Oh, indeed. And so as Curtis now comes into the pit, and of course, Curtis with a lot of work to do. The reigning champion down in 19th position at the moment. And same for Suto as well, the early championship leader, all the way down in 21st position. So a bit of work to do for him. But it is Tobias Kress, who is on pole position for tomorrow's race here at Hockenheim. One of the home favourites, sticking it on pole position. So let's do 11 by 11 like Rob does, Ra. I'll do the first 11, you do the final 11. So on pole position, it is Tobias Kress with Fonchanek Kirchane in second. Rose Henson will start in third, with Samet Oskar in fourth. Dorebush Daniel in fifth, with Adam Chobot in sixth. Alexander Arnold in seventh, with Ruslan Protsuk in eighth. Luca Farina ninth, with Agatina Bavona in 10th. Johannes Martins in 11th, and you can do the rest, Ra.
So for a team of like more, being a bit disappointed that he wasn't able to get out for his final run, but yeah, 13th is the best he could do. Hopefully he can survive. Knowing I have been in this experience before. Gabriel Quintana in 14th, Dennis Graff in 15th, Ben Spalding in 16th, Jafari Blackwood in 17th, Henderson Anome in 18th, Aaron Curtis in 19th, Hong Min Nguyen in 20th, Joseph Frederick Suto, the championship leader, in 21st, and Gabriel Rico in 22nd.
Indeed. Well, that is qualifying done with for today. Hope you have enjoyed it. Very interesting qualifying session, and safe to say a shocking pole sitter in the form of Tobias Kress in the MP Motorsport. And be interested to see if he could try and win the race tomorrow. It should be quite an interesting one. But that has been it then, guys. Hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, tomorrow we do have the practice and qualifying session for the top class, which starts at 4 p.m. BST. But of course, the F2 race will be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. BST, where Rob will be back in the commentary box to commentate for the race. So don't you worry about that, guys. But until then, guys, that has been it. I hope you have enjoyed it. So thank you very much for watching. I've been JW97. He's been Ra, called up to the last minute after what happened with Leighton's microphone. And we will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. BST for the F2 race, and of course at 4 p.m. for the top class practice and qualifying session. Till then, take care.